Hey guys, did a video the other day on the D major chordal scale. Looked like this. Which is these chords. So we're in D major, so the D major scale. Right, we've taken each one of those notes and turned them into a chord, so D. The second note is an E, we've turned it into a chord, which we're playing. Same chord, playing it in a different way. So that's the third, F sharp minor, G, A, E minor, C sharp diminished, and then back to where we started from, but played up an octave higher. So if you're in the key of D major, you're like, well, what chords can I play in D major? So you just go up alphabetically. That's what I've done here first of all. So I've gone D, and then in the alphabet, E's next, right? D, E, F, G. Well, music only goes to G, and then we start again. So we go back to the first letter of the alphabet, A, B, C, and then we're back to where we started from for the eighth note, which is the octave. And in the D major chords that belong to that scale, or any major chordal scale, the 2, the 3, and the 6 are always minors. So that's the major shape. It's got a major sound to it, a happy up sound. This note here is the third. Is it? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Just checking. So a flattened third. So flattened means go back, go play that note a semitone lower, or on a guitar a fret lower. So that note. So if we play that note with that chord instead of that note, it's minor. And you can hear it's got that darkness to it. So if we were in a D minor scale, that would be this would be D minor, but it's not, because we're in D major. So D major chord, D minor chord. So as we progress up this chordal scale, we're going to swap between this shape and this shape. Major shape, minor shape, minor shape, major shape, major shape, minor shape, diminished shape, which is the seventh, is always a diminished. Just to throw the cat in amongst pigeons. And then we're back to the octave. So we've got major shape, minor shape, minor shape, major shape, major shape, minor shape, diminished, completing, coming back to the octave. So this is D, same as this. So what are we going to do with them? We're going to create a song, hopefully. And we don't want to play them in that order, because that's like playing a scale, and most people will recognise that as a scale and kind of go, well, it's very uninteresting, I'm not enjoying it. So if you were a pop artist, a rock artist, a blues artist, a country artist, you would pick the 1, the 4 and the 5. And most songs that you know use the 1, the 4 and the 5 in whatever key. It might be a minor key, it might be a different letter, it might be an E or an F key, whatever, doesn't matter. D major. So if we were in D major and we wanted to play a really simple song, we'd play the D, the G and the A. So if it was a country song, if it was a blues song and we were in D, let's say we're in G because it's easier to play in the blues, we play the 1, the 4, the 5, the 4, the 1. And like rock songs, pop songs, you get the picture. But what we're going to do is we're going to break out of that mold and play something a little bit more intricate and outside the box. And you might be sick of playing 1-4-5 songs or writing 1-4-5 songs. And this is a mechanism that you can use to get out of that. So we've written down a D major chordal scale and we can play it. And then we're just going to pick random numbers out. I started with the 1 because that's generally what you would do if you're in that key. So we've got the 1, the 3 and the 2 for what I'm saying is the verse. So the 1, the 3 and then the 2. So this is when it starts to become musical. We're not playing the scale in order. We're playing, instead of 1, 2, 3, we're playing 1, 3, 2. So we've picked some more numbers out of the hat and we've got a little bit more complicated. We've got some more numbers and we've got the diminished and all sorts of, we've got majors and minors, but we just went 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. So they are, progressively getting higher and they don't need to be. We didn't hear, we went up and then we came back. Whatever, doesn't matter. So this is how this would go. D, G, B minor, C sharp diminished, back to the D. So now I'm going to record those and I'm going to play scales over the top of them so that we'll have a chord base, but then a song needs melody. I might lay a bass track down where I'll just use the root notes and then we'll have that. That's the basic structure, that's the starting point of our song. But then where does the melody come from? So generally speaking, from the scales. Major scale, B minor scale, so you can use those scales to find a hook, for example. So it might be that, maybe that's the hook of your song. Well, that's going to work in D major. All of those notes are either in the D major scale or the B minor scale, and I'm actually switching between the two, and I will switch. You should learn your minor pentatonic. And then learn the different positions. So we slide that up to the second position. That's the second position of the D minor pentatonic. And then the fifth position. Now I like those three positions because I can start in first position, slide up to second, slide back down to fifth, or move. So once you know, and then third position. So you've got to work on your scales. If you want to be able to do this sort of thing, that's where music becomes a discipline of just sitting and just repetitively running. Running your scales. And if you want to know what the point is so that you know every one of those positions so that you don't have to play them in order. That's D major scale, just in a different order. Like what we've done here, we've just randomly created a different order so it becomes musical, it's not just a scale. Okay, now, so that's what we're going to do after we record this. So we're going to record the verse chord progression and then the chorus chord progression, one after the other. That's recorded now. So with the bass track, I'm just going to lay down just the root notes of each one of these chords. Open chords. Nearly. Start with the major scale. Just run through the actual major scale. So at the end there, you know, I'm not just sticking to the order, I'm being a little bit more musical. This time I'll be more musical with it. Slides, double notes, right? B minor. Second position, back to first, fifth position, sound of that particular melody. It could become a vocal melody, or it could become a hook for your song. So I'm going to record it as a hook. snare in there now as a melody. Now I'm just going to improvise using those different scales, sorry. I'm going to hit my delay pedal because it sounds amazing. So yeah, there you go. I mean, that's followed that structure, ended up with that little instrumentally kind of thing, which I kind of dug. I thought that was quite pretty sounding. And then, you know, if you recorded those sections and spent a bit more time, write some words that don't have to make sense. I'm the walrus, blah blah blah, like, you know, or it can make sense if you want to get deep. Lay those different tracks down and you've got a song. I hope that really helps. I love music and I love what it's brought to my life, and I'm just going to start sharing stuff like this with anyone who's interested. If you've got any questions or you want to know something, hit me up, because the more people whose mind can be opened to music and creating whatever music they want, I think that's a great thing. Okay.